Let's now go through Biology Paper 2 2017. This was a GC exam. Complete the table showing parts of the microscope and their function. So which part of the microscope will collect and reflect light onto the specimen on the stage? This is going to be the mirror. What is the function of the diaphragm? Diaphragm basically will be able to concentrate light to go on the stage. Okay, concentrate light to the stage. So you should look at the structure of a microscope. You have got the eyepiece there, you are going to have the objective lenses, normally three of them. Then you have got a barrel here, you have got a stage, something down like that, and then you have got a base. You have got the coarse adjustment knob and the fine adjustment knob. So the diaphragm is going to be somewhere down here. Here you have got a mirror. So when light comes like this, it will hit here and then it will has to pass through the diaphragm there and the condenser to go to the stage, right? And then what magnifies the image further? So what will be responsible for magnifying the image is going to be the objective lenses. You have got the eyepiece for magnification, but also the objective lenses. So we can say objective lenses. What is the function of the stage? This place here is basically to hold the slide or the specimen. What part of the microscope brings the image into sharp focus, especially when the specimen is being viewed at high magnification? That's a fine adjustment knob. Need to write the word adjustment there. So the coarse adjustment knob can move this part up and down. So when you have reached a point that is good, you can now be tuning so that you can view something much more clearer using the fine adjustment knob. State three parts of a plant which can be easily seen under a light microscope. You can see the nucleus because it's big. You can see the cytoplasm. And you can also see the cell membrane. Or for a plant, you can actually even see a cell wall. Okay. Or let's just say cell membrane. Figure shows two endocrine glands labeled P and Q. What is this gland which is found on top of the kidney? That is known as the adrenal gland. Right? How about this gland that is connected to the duodenum or the small intestine? That's the pancreas. You can just see how it looks. And then state one hormone produced by each gland. So the adrenal gland produces a lot of hormones like you can mention cortisol, okay, as one hormone it to produce. And then an hormone produced by Q, the pancreas. Pancreas can produce hormones like insulin, glucagon. Explain how the hormone produced by gland P stated in this A2 plays a role in coordination. So we have got cortisol, things like epinephrine. So if we explain epinephrine, what happens is that when imagine you see a dog, you'll be afraid. So this is also known as a fight or flight hormone. Your eyes are going to start dilating, and then there's going to be increase in blood flow. You are going to become more aware. You are preparing to either run or fight. Explain the other role played by gland Q, which is the pancreas, apart from producing hormone. Also produces enzymes. And these enzymes are involved in the digestion of lipids, carbohydrates, and also proteins. Figure shows the muscle in a bent limb in a grasshopper. You can see it's bent. Identify the muscles R and S. So what muscle is this one? You can see this muscle is bending the limb. Muscles that bend, we call them flexors. So S is the flexor. And then R, when it contracts, it will be able to extend the limb. So we call them extensors. It will straighten the limb. So in order to straighten the limb, what happens to muscles R and S? If you want this to be straight, R is going to contract. S is going to relax. So every time one contracts, another one relaxes, and opposite. Set the term used to refer to the action of R and S. That is known as antagonism. When one contracts, one relaxes, one relaxes, one contracts. Identify the type of skeleton shown. So the skeleton that is found in a grasshopper, that is known as the exoskeleton. Skeleton. Why is it exoskeleton? You can see the skeleton is not inside, it is outside. The skeleton is outside. For us, outside we have got muscles, and then inside we have got bones, but this is opposite. So it is exoskeleton. State three functions of the skeleton. It helps us in movement, that is known as locomotion, and also protection. Okay, to protect like the structures which are inside. For example, the bones protect the spinal cord, protect the brain, and also it is involved in imagine you want to stand without bones, so it's also there for support, right? So that is it. Figure shows the process involved in using a dialysis machine by a patient suffering from kidney failure. Which of the labeled parts VU or and T is a dialysis machine? This one is just there to remove air, right? And then this one is there to filter, to remove big things from blood. So you can see that the dialysis is actually connected. So as blood is going to the vein of a patient, you have got this structure here to remove any solids from the blood. Okay, which because first blood had to move from the vein, it went into the dialysis machine. Here we removed air from the blood, and then it came here, it was cleansed, and then maybe there were some particles here. So before it can go back to the blood, it has to be cleaned again to remove any solids. So the dialysis is U. Which labeled part removes gas bubbles? As we said, the gas bubbles is removed by V, as blood is moving from the human to the dialysis machine. Suggest two reasons why both tubes to and from the dialysis machine are connected to the vein and not the artery. So one thing is blood is connected to the vein because you want the blood to be cleansed, right? To remove carbon dioxide, and it is veins which contain deoxygenated blood. You don't want to clean blood that contains oxygen in the artery. What are you cleaning? Then another reason is that you are connecting blood to the vein again, okay, because when you see blood in the vein is going to, it moves a bit at a low pressure because it is going towards the heart than in the artery where it's moving at a high pressure because it is coming from the artery. So apart from you having talking about the oxygenation, can as well talk about in the vein at least you have got a low pressure than in the artery. So that is going to allow the blood to be able to flow and then be able to move in their dialysis. Explain how important nutrients like glucose, amino acids, and salts are prevented from leaving blood in the dialysis machine. So the dialysis machine here is going to have a concentration of glucose, amino acids, and protein just like they are in blood. So if the concentration in the dialysis machine and in the blood is the same, these substances cannot move by diffusion. Okay, they can't move by diffusion. State two disadvantages of using a dialysis machine by patients with kidney failure. One disadvantage is that it is expensive. Like you have to travel like thrice, 3 times a week for you to be able to go and be treated. That is one reason. Apart from that, it is also even a priority. Okay, you might not be prioritized because maybe a lot of people are using the same machine, and so you also have to wait for those who are using the machine to use it, especially if they're even more richer than you. You have to wait. Suggest one other method of treating kidney failure. Can use a kidney transplant. So you remove the kidney and get a new kidney from another person who is okay. Kidney transplant, not transport. Transplant. A pure breeding black bull was crossed with a pure breeding red cow. The meaning of pure breeding is that you have got the same phenotype. Let's say black, we are using capital B. So capital B, that's pure breeding black. Then pure breeding red, we can say, so using the letter B or B for alleles, small b or capital B. So let's say capital B is for black and then small b is for red. So this is pure breeding black, this is pure breeding red. All right. And you've been told that all the resulting offsprings were what? Black. They should tell you that black is dominant. So for black, you need to use a capital letter. And then red is going to be recessive, so use a small letter. That's what we have done. Which allele was dominant? It is the B, right? The one for black color. That's the one which is dominant. What was the genotype for the parent black bull? Genotype, we want the genetic makeup. Phenotype is the physical appearance. It was a black. But genotype, it was BB. Every time something is pure breeding, you always use two capitals or two smalls. Using the genetic diagram, show the resulting offspring if the offspring black bull was crossed with a parent red cow. Remember, the parent red is BB. But the offspring, we've been told that we cross this pure breeding and this pure breeding. All the offspring are going to have one capital and one small. Okay, so now we want to use this offspring and the mother. We'll see what we'll be able to produce. So first, the right phenotype. So one offspring that we are using is black. That one is a black bull. And we are crossing with a red cow. Why are we not saying red bull? Because it's female. And then genotype, we have said that for the black bull it is capital B, small b. And then for the red cow it's small b, small b. And then now the gamete, capital B, secoid, small b, secoid. Don't put a times here. Small b, secoid, small b, secoid. Then you are going to have fertilization. So this can cross with this. That is going to be capital B, small b. This can also cross with this. That is going to be capital B, small b. This crossing with this, small b, small b. This crossing with this, small b, small b. So this is the F1 genotype. We'll underline it. So what is the F1 phenotype? Phenotype, what will be the physical characteristic? So small b, capital B, this one is what? It's black. We don't know whether it's going to be a bull or a cow. We don't know if it's female or male because it's not related to sex. Then small b, capital B is also black. And then this is going to be red. This is going to be red. So you can see there's 50% chance of having black and 50% chance of having red. Suggest what could happen to the pure breeding bull or red cow to cause them to produce a black and white offspring. How can you produce something that is black and white? Okay, remember black was dominant, right? And then red was recessive. The only way you can produce something that is black and white is when the red is also dominant. So you need to use a bull that is dominant for the red color, such that when you cross it with a black bull, the black allele will not overshadow the red one, and so you are going it will appear red, black and white like that. Sorry, black and red. Okay, black and red. This one we want to cause them to produce a black and white. That's what could happen to the pure breeding black bull or red cow to cause them to produce something that is black and white. Black and white. So there has to be, if you get something that is blue, but you want to produce black and white, there should be a mutation in the gene. Make a mutation in the gene that is going to cause the production of the black and white, or get a cow that is dominant for the black color, and another one which is dominant for the white color. Then cross these two because they are both dominant for their characteristic, and so are going to end up with something that is black and white, because there's nothing that will dominate over the other one. Explain how the internal parts of a leaf are adapted to the photosynthesis. So you need to explain what is found in the internal structure. Explain why persons with blood group AB are referred to as universal recipients. AB. When you have got blood group AB, it means that you don't have any antibody. Okay, no antibody. So because you don't have any antibody, any blood that you get, nothing is there to fight it. So you are a universal recipient. You can receive anything. Person with blood group A cannot donate blood to blood group B person. Why? Because if you have blood group B, you have got antibodies for A, so you can't get that blood. That's what you're explaining. The importance of named precautions before blood transfusion can be done. You want to avoid reactions, because if you get blood group A from someone who is blood group B, to cause a reaction, you can actually even die. Describe the production of ATP during respiration. Suggest ways in which respiration is important. Just get to read up these questions for the essays, otherwise we can have time to get to go through essays, but just get to read up. And the way you answer is, don't be so sophisticated. Just get to write a simple definition, right? For example, here, using a pond as an example, describe features of an ecosystem. First, just define what an ecosystem is, and then talk about what you find in a pond. You have got fish there, you have got grass, you have got water. Just talk about that, those things you find, those are the features. Okay, don't be sophisticated, don't make things hard, just be simple. That is how you can answer this. And just write them in paragraph. You can write a paragraph, 1 or 2 lines or 3 lines, then you start another one, like that you go, you answer. So that is going to be it for this one.